Hey, this is Steven Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus AEW Dark, February 2nd, 2021. A couple stats right off the jump. It is episode 73, which is fantastic. 13 matches, which is much better than 16. It would be nice to get that down a little bit. And the show ran an hour and 51 minutes, but that also included things like an episode of The Waiting Room and a couple of pretty good promos. So not unbearably long, but still shorter, better. Let's hope they can get there. Standout performances. People said that they really like that I do that they wanted me to do it right from the jump. So what I do is I pick out standout performances from the enhancement talent in particular. Of course, I would say that Dani Jordan and Very Morales are tied, and Shawn Dean also with a fantastic showing. Those are the three that really stood out to me as doing a phenomenal job. Very Morales really asked to carry the lion's share of the more technical and complicated things with Santana and Ortiz. Shawn Dean found a way to stand out and stand up in a clusterfuck of an 8-man tag, and Dani Jordan really looked stellar out there with Thunder Rosa. So great job, you guys. I grade these matches on a 3-check scale. I go through things rather quickly. How the 3 checks work are, was the proper person or entity put over in a memorable fashion? That gets you 1 check mark. Was the entity that was supposed to look great end up looking great and dominant and fantastic? Then that's a 2nd check mark. And then if the enhancement talent does a particularly good job or is given a good amount of offense by their opponent, then they get a 3rd check mark. We have had 2 shows so far out of the 73 where we've had 3 check marks all night long. And yes, we have occasionally given 0 check marks, though it is incredibly rare because the design of AEW Dark, after all, is for people to look good and show that they are worthy of being on Dynamite, for example. It's a nice thing. I like covering AEW Dark. Let's get into it. So, D'Lo Brown's kids, the Hugheses, Terrell and Terrence, taking on Mbadu, Big Man. Oh, and Mbadu, excuse me. So you've got the Hugheses and Mbadu against the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, and Nick Komoroto. This is obviously an exhibition for Nick Komoroto to get over, which he does. That little press slam into the power slam looks phenomenal. It's a good basic match. Again, you're not going to have a bad match with Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall. They're expert at working these kind of things. A good showing all around, 3 check marks. No prob, Bob. Great. Then next we had Ray Phoenix against Casey Navarro. Keeping up with Ray Phoenix is no easy task. Casey does a pretty good job here. Ray Phoenix always gives the guys a chance to really show their stuff, which is one of those things that's really great about Ray Phoenix. He's a great person to work on these darks because he's just so good at working with the guys, and you really have to show your stuff. Ray Phoenix wins, 3 check marks. I like that he used a frog splash to win here. Sometimes he uses stuff that's really, really brutal, and for some reason that really comes across as heelish on AEW Dark when you're beating an opponent that's not on your level with something like a head drop. So I like that he used a frog splash there. Match number 3, Tay Conti. Anna Jay's out there, -1's out there versus Tesha Price. Tesha Price looks good here. The skills are definitely improving. Tay Conti, though, really on a great roll. I love that TKO move, which is like a gory into the knee. I think it looks really good. Tay Conti just looks phenomenal here. 3 check marks. We've got the waiting room here with Baker makes a joke about Kenny Omega in the shoes. It's ridiculous. She comments about the wedding, and then got Ricky Starks on here. And it's basically the two of them just glad handing each other. Tony Schiavone comes in with a little button at the end about Britt putting her jacket on. And so it goes. Nothing spectacular, nothing special, but it's good that they get a lot of these under their belt so they can use them. Thunder Rosa versus Dani Jordan. Like I said, really great thing here. They do a little thing with the burn book, but they don't overdo it, as has happened in the past, if I'm being honest. Dani Jordan looks really good here. Thunder Rosa looks really good. Great job. 3 check marks. Fuego de Sol and Vari Morales versus Santana and Ortiz. Vari Morales is really the star in the standout here. Great to see Santana and Ortiz busting out new stuff, looking incredibly dominant. This is their time to look dominant. I think it's important and it's great. 3 check marks. Layla Hirsch versus Catalina Perez. Layla Hirsch is someone that they've been flirting with, right? They give her wins against quote-unquote lesser talent, and then she's there to job to bigger talent. A lot of people I know don't care for Layla Hirsch. I see the purpose of having her here, and she looks perhaps the best here that she's ever looked. So I'm going to give it 3 check marks. And the cross arm breaker is a good submission finisher, I think. And it's nice to see a little bit of variety. AEW, the guys tend to have, the people who wrestle for them tend to have one of 3 category of finisher. So it's nice to see when there's something different here. Music video. With the Acclaim talking about how they're going to win the tag team battle royal. I love that they do this stuff. I think it's really hilarious. Max Caster has his little diss rap where he's ripping on Danny Limelight for his tattoos. It's ridiculous. So Danny Limelight and Ryzen are 2 of the best guys that they have as far as the guys who put other people over. And this one's no exception. Really no exception. The Acclaimed finisher is okay. I really wish that they had something better. But this match is really good and it really works. Kudos to Limelight and Ryzen, who do a very good job here with the Acclaim. They're keeping the Acclaim strong. I think that's important. 3 check marks. So far we have a night full of 3 check marks, do we not? I believe we do. The next is that 8-person clusterfuck of a match. Bear Country, getting the push here. Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss teaming with them. If this is their attempt to have less matches on Dark, I'm okay with it, as long as they don't overuse this thing of having 8-person tags with just sort of mix and match people. We got Aaron Sorlo, Baron Black, who continues to do a good job, Mike Verna, and Shawn Dean, who does a really exceptional job in this match. I'm not going to go through it. I'm not a move-by-move guy. I will say that Bear Country really looks good here, which is the main point of this match, and their team scores the win with Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, and Joey Janela wins with a top rope elbow, which is good to see that he actually picks up a win with that thing. So we'll give that 3 check marks. Diamante and Ivelisse against Jasmine Allure, who looks like new money, and Vert Vixen, who's looked really good recently in her matches on AEW Dark. But Jasmine Allure is the real standout here. If she can get those skills up, I think there's a real future for her. So Diamante and Ivelisse win with kicks to the head, which is one of the AEW favorite finishers. 3 check marks. We're rolling. John Schuyler and Ray Jazz against the Gun Club, the incarnation of Father Billy Gunn and Colton Gunn, Austin Gunn at ringside. So Colton, who's the least experienced perhaps out of all of them, getting a lot of looks here. Gun Club hits the 310 to Yuma for the win. Any tag match where Billy Gunn is involved, he's going to direct traffic and things are always going to go well. And this is no exception. They even throw in some more complicated things of pins breaking up in kind of unusual ways and all that, but it all comes off really smoothly. Great job. 3 check marks. Alex Gracia, who's been hit or miss with me, but this is definitely a hit. I think she worked very well with Red Velvet. Red Velvet, who they're positioning in a very dominant position, so they're making her look good and putting over that, again, kick to the head finisher. Very well. 3 check marks, no great shakes, nothing to speak of. I am proud to say that I called Red Velvet right from the jump when she got to AEW Dark, and her career is skyrocketing. 10 with -1 at ringside versus Jake St. Patrick. 10, Vance, you got to give him credit. He has taken advantage of this push that he's getting. He's looking dominant. He's looking comfortable. This one is no exception. Deadlift powerbomb for the win. He looks great. 3 check marks. My God, we're at the main event. Are we going to have 3 check marks all night long? We are, because the Chaos Project back in the main event of Dark against SCU. What can I say? It looks great. And Serpentico / John Cruz really busts his ass on this one to make SCU look phenomenal. But of course, they're seasoned, smooth pros. And the match looks fine. Again, another one in the books for AEW Dark. No problems. And this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with AEW Dark versus me.